Good morning and welcome back to When Pigs Fly. I am Patty. I'm here with Tracy and Renee. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Today, we felt that it would be in our best and highest good to honor Lady Gaia, aka the Earth. We are going to talk today about Gaia's healing energy because, yes, Earth is ascending with us. And I know a few of you have made comments about this in our community. So, we're going to talk about how important the energetic connection is and how does this play out in our daily lives, for example, with food. And we may have one or two foodies on board here. And so I am going to hand this off to our resident foodie, also known as Tracy. Go for it, Tracy.
No, not me first. So, this is an interesting topic for me because I love good, pure food. I love organic food. I love food from the farm. My husband fishes, he hunts. I love to live that way. It's just what feeds my soul. I feel like it's the purest energy from Mother Earth that we can consume. There's just so many beautiful things I love about it. However, I also own restaurants, and I'm just going to say in these systems with the metrics we're working in and the amount of volume the restaurants do, it's not sustainable for us to provide and produce food of that magnitude because it's unaffordable and we're regulated too much. So there's a lot of ways that we can talk about receiving the highest energetics from food. And I'll just say the two basic ways. For me, and I think Patty too, because she's the foodie, we love the freshest, purest source of food. And that I would attest feeds everyone's soul at a very fundamental and foundational level. And I think that's the most beautiful way to eat. But also, that said, for those of you who can't afford organic, who don't have a farm that's local, to come to your food with an intuitive knowing and an energetic match of it is going to be a vibrant form of nutrition for you. So align it with a pure energy come from of this is going to feed my soul. This is what my body is wanting and craving, no matter what it is. And that will serve you in a big way. But I would encourage everyone to get to know food. I mean, it really is magical, like Patty says, and I know she'll speak more about it, of the grocery store and letting it speak to you and feeling its energy. I really am passionate about food, and I really hope and believe that it will be more will be pushed into situations and scenarios that will be invited to become more acquainted and have a higher level of appreciation and energetic exchange with our food sources.
Yes, very true. And I think what Tracy was saying is in alchemizing, when you sit down, whatever it is you're going to consume, it doesn't matter. You don't judge it and don't judge yourself, and then give it love. Like bring in the energy, regardless of the source of the food, whether it was, man-made or not, right? There, preservatives, whatever it is, we don't judge. And I didn't really start eating intuitively until more recently doing this work. But in hindsight, I was still making choices but I live in a state that, we have pretty much like it's summer all year round. So we have an abundance of fruits and vegetables, and I go to the farmer's market a couple of times a week. But I love the energy there. And in doing this work, I realized that, oh my gosh, well, because I'm around all of, this is the topic today, is Gaia's healing energy. And the greater my awareness is for that, that's like my favorite places to go. And I pick something up and see how it feels. And I mean, I don't have to pick it up now, but usually once I pick it up, it's already in my bag. But just noticing, and like my head will turn at a certain point and it'll be like, oh, wow, they have these tomatoes on the stem today. I'm going to go for that. And just kind of really energetically, I like love going to the store, but I love food and I love cooking it too. And I'll be like, okay, whoa, what can I make with this? And then, and just be guided as to what to throw in. And more recently, I want to share this hack, and this is just for me. Again, you do what works for you. This is so important. You have to feel into your own needs. Last week when we had that, we were in that stitching pattern, and I felt that uneasiness, wavy, like I couldn't ground that day. It was like a subtle, like anxiousness, and I thought, gosh, I just want to get fully into my body. And I ate a pound of baked French fries and did the trick. And in hindsight, I realized, oh, okay, well, Gaia, anything that grows in the earth has Earth's energy. We have Earth's energy. And in that moment where my physical body felt like it was probably my energetic body was floating around the room, if the truth be told. But in eating that, I was able to come more into my body and then recognize that. And so all food, anything we consume has energy, and to be conscious of what label you're giving it. And are you eating out of guilt or shame, or like, if you just can stop yourself in that moment and go, no, know what? Okay, I'm sad or depressed right now, but I want to feel more love or golden energy and say, oh my gosh, just bring golden energy into this, whatever it is. And I'm going to consume it with that golden energy. Just talking about this, I'm like picturing my lunch. So, but it really is that simple. Direct the energy, and then you have control over how you are choosing to consume it. This does involve slowing down and being a conscious eater, but I'm not talking about like with regard to diet or calorie. I'm not saying like I'm being consciously aware of the energy. What energy am I giving this food? I give it love when it goes into the basket, and I play with the guy checking me out, and I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Give it gratitude, give it love. And then that's how you're consuming it. And your body responds in kind, 1,000%. And I'll share it for another episode, but 20 years and counting, zero illness because I love everything that goes in here. And I absolutely believe that 1,000%. So,
That's
Renee.
awesome. And I'm going to take this from an energetic perspective of when you're shopping and you're out there, like notice, Patty's going and Tracy does, for herself and all that as well in her family, that you're going in with that aspect of what's speaking to me. Oh my God, I love this. I love the root vegetables. I love the whatever, all the stuff you guys talk because I'm not a foodie. So that point. So, but notice you're going in, they're going in with that aspect and that love, and they're purchasing, with love. Now, if you're in a rush and you're going, shopping or whatever, or like me, like, I don't know what I want to eat. I don't know what I'm going to make for my family. Like, it's usually a chore. Like that's one of the things that I don't like to do. Okay. And I'm going to be canceling that, replacing with the opposite. Now, listening to these two, I'm going to go into the grocery store with, no, I find everything and I love this. But what I always did, and I still do, is when I am making something, because and I'll tell everybody, like, oh my God, that's the biggest thing. Like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna make for dinner? It's such a stressful thing for me. And I'm just like, oh my God. And listening to these two, they love to do it and they do stuff. So now, but what I did was when I am making something, I was like, listen, I'm anything and everything. Like I always say, thank you so much for giving your life for me, no matter what it is. If I'm oil I'm putting in the pan, whatever. Thank you so much for giving your life to feed me and my family. I'm sending you, pure love and light. They get an appreciation and gratitude. And then even, as it's cooking and when it's done, I do that same thing. So I put my hands over it. And, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just, send the energy to it. But a lot of times I put my hands over it and just say, thank you so much. I'm just pouring love in here. And I do remember when the kids were growing up and forgetting to do that once. And the kids were like, oh my God, this tastes so weird, Mom. Like, and I was like, oh my God, you know what? I forgot to bless it and give it appreciation. And we just sat there and we all just put that energy to it. And then they taste it. And I remember them like, yep, there it is. Like they just knew. So there's always an energy to the food. If you're purchasing food in that haste and in that, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this or whatever, that energy is going into it. But also the energy of people packaging those things. So I think it's really important. So notice, when Tracy and Patty are going out and they're doing that, they're automatically releasing, because you can tell when she was talking about it, she was releasing any energy that might have been in there from somebody who maybe didn't like the job that was packing the stuff, or somebody that's like, oh my God, I hate, I don't like, picking these fruits or whatever, but it's a job, is what brings me money, stuff like that. They're nullifying all that energy. So don't feel like, when you're someplace or you have something, don't feel like it's got to be, and I don't know if you would feel this anyway, but it's got to be a burden or whatever. I'm coming from this point of like, your energy goes in, can cleanse and purify any of that other energy that's there. Have the love and appreciation for it. If you don't like making that food, ask maybe somebody else to do it. Like I know my one son, he's home for a little bit now, and he's like, you don't want to make it? Tell me, I'll do it. And the program in me is like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm the mom. I have to do it. Well, he makes way better food than man, trust me. I'll say that to him a lot. But from that aspect, always know that there's things that you can do. And Patty, you said this, like eating intuitively. What do you feel like eating? Don't feel like you have to have those 3 meals, or these are the times I'm told that I have to eat. What feels right to you? If you're saying, okay, look at, I feel like eating, dinner at 8:30 and it's usually 5 o'clock that you eat dinner. Try it, right? Feel how different it feels in your body. When you're listening and paying attention to your body, you'd be amazed. And get outside and recognize when you're walking, or just sitting there, how much Gaia is feeding you. There are so many nutrients out there that our body is pulling in, but our belief system is fighting and saying, no, this can't be. I need this, this, and this. Pay attention to your body and see what feels right to you and go that avenue, if that makes any sense. So that's my 2 cents of all this foodie stuff.
It makes total sense. Yeah, it makes
Mhm.
total sense, Renee. And I mean, essentially, we're saying pay attention that it is an energy. It's an energy and it is abundant on the planet. It's, the apple tree doesn't need instructions. It knows it's going to keep reproducing apples, right? And it takes the sun, and so Gaia herself is sufficient. She's self-sufficient. And we talk about the tie to abundance. A lot of people say, I don't know, what do you mean it's abundance? Well, walk outside. There is an abundance of everything. And when you start to picture yourself connecting with that, and I know that sounds crazy, like when it's raining, can you feel, oh, this rain could go right through me? Can you be with the energy of the rain, just like we can be with I think like the other day I totally became a potato because I wanted to ground so badly. So, but it's like, and you can have fun with that. And really, oh yeah, I have them ask me at my store, like, oh, why'd you buy that? Like, what are you going to cook? Or is this any good? And I'm like, well, you got to taste it, but it's that, yeah. And inject some passion into it. I mean, it's easy for me, to inject passion, but I feel like there's also with these energy shifts, I'll tell you, we're seeing it in consumption too. I'll have to do a food report one day with the Schumann. But right now, there's there's like I'm not going to call it a shortage. Let's just call it a backlog because there was a sudden surge in olive oil because more people are going to eating with olive oil in the Mediterranean type diets, which are very organic in nature and stuff. And so I went to the store and someone said to me, oh, the olive oil went up. And I said, that's fantastic. That means more people are eating cleaner. And they're like, do you still want it? Hell yeah, get that in my, and know it, have gratitude. Have gratitude. There's not a shortage of olive trees. They just produce based on demand. And now the demand is increasing in that area. And so I was happy to hear that because I thought, wow, it's great. Tracy, I know we talked about that you like cooking with nice olive oil and ghee. I like same. And so, you know, we can't think in terms of like lack and limitation. There's a sustainability and there is an abundance. And I understand that we don't see that part with our human eyes right now, but recognize that it's all an energy and that we have access to it. And there's healing. I mean, tremendous healing that nature reproduces and heals itself. And just like our bodies reproduce, our cells are just turning over at a rate faster than we could probably even talk about. That's part of these upgrades. So it's a massive connection. We're all connected. It's one, right? It's the energy of one. So Tracy looks like she's got something to say.
Well, I have a lot, and I have a couple different viewpoints on a lot of subjects, but one is I do love nature. I love simplicity. And I do believe that we are going to continue to get pushed in a way that we will be forced to be more sustainable and more loving to earth and animals. And that I believe is great for many reasons, because it's the energy of love and compassion, and a lot of things that we do in this world right now are from an energy of control and greed. So it's a beautiful thing. Like Patty said, a lot of these processed foods in this belief system, which is true, it's our reality, are making people really sick. And that is sad. And we're moving out of that. So I think that a lot of fast foods, for whatever reason it might be, because, minimum wage is going up, a lot of things are going to change and correct. And I would like to believe that they are in alignment and coherence with Mother Nature's energy and love. And it's a beautiful thing. And it might not appear, you can't get chicken for $3.99 a pound because we're not mass producing and mass antibioticing and all of this stuff. And it's going to be great because we're going to be healthier. We're going to be happier. We're going to be way more in alignment with the coherence of Earth's energy. But it might be a little like, holy shit, olive oil is, $25 and I can't even find canola oil or whatever, So that's awesome. And I think it's so good for everybody. And I think it's going to just create just such a better world, which is amazing. And I think that unconsciously, we are all going to start craving and aligning with things that are from a more pure base and a more heart-based production and system of manufacturing. So I pay attention, because I think you'll get nudged. Like all of a sudden, Patty said, I'm craving oranges, or my daughter went to the grocery store and she's like, oh my gosh, I love this new, it's a soda, but it's not, it's all, she's like, Mom, will you read the label? And I was like, oh my gosh, seriously, this is good stuff in here. And it's at our grocery store. You didn't have to go to the health food store. So these are exciting developments, because I think that it is, again, it's just back to the energy. It's the energy of the earth. It's amazing. I don't think you can talk me out of that one. Like that one I'm holding strong with. Like, nope, the earth's energy is loving. It's amazing. It's awesome. And it's going to be more available because all the other bullshit is going to disappear. So yay.
All good stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I love that, Tracy, because, when you spoke to that whole aspect of the earth's energy, and how it's shifting and changing, with us or us with that, how whatever way it is, but to also recognize and to know that, you're saying like, the bullshit's going away. Well, the bullshit of the earth, like there was for so many years, well, they're saying centuries, that the earth was like just littered upon and just not really thought of. And there's such a huge conscious shift that has changed in where people are recognizing, Gaia for what it is and the love and all of that. So she too is purging all of the, the old crap. Well, as that's all purging, what they're showing is like this purging energy. And even though, it's purging, it doesn't seem to be coming up through us like it would. Like I remember there a year being where she was like, here, take your shit. And it was literally coming through us. And everybody's like, what the hell? Where now it's this point of like, it's moving up, but this energy, like, we're here. Okay. So this is coming here. It's almost like it's missing us to a point. It's in the field, but it's missing us. But this really pure energy is coming up into our bodies. So I think that's where, Tracy, you were just speaking to, we're going to be more after we'll be craving these things. And if you didn't eat what I'll say organically, and it's just like, more of not the processed food is what I'm talking about. If you weren't eating, that aspect, or you were taking in more of the processed food, you're going to be drawn like, oh my God, nothing's really satisfying me. Well, pay attention to that, because what your body is calling for, what Mother Earth is calling for, is the nutrients of the earth, the stuff that's more what we know as organic. The system is going to be requiring that, and not as much. When you're
Yes.
eating processed food, they're saying, you're not really getting the taste of the true stuff. Your body's not receiving the nutrients that it's looking for. That's why you're craving all these other things, because you're looking for nutrients that something organic is going to give. And I say it like this just so that you understand, like, okay, that whole aspect. But they're saying that is really going to make the shift. And that's exactly what, you both were speaking to, of the sustainability and everything, of you're going to be more apt to grow your own stuff, or have a deal with somebody who are like, hey, I'll give you this and you give me that, where that, because that's where the world's going. And it's more of that trade stuff, and really paying attention to the earth's energy that's coming up, that's allowing us to shift and change, in addition to our own things shifting and changing as everything's coming into us, and recognizing and realizing, okay, I don't know what I feel like eating, and nothing's really satisfying me in the house. Go out and sort of just look, or go to a farmer's market, or something like that, and go and look and just say, what, I'm going to try this, and Google what can I make with this, and try new things, and try the stuff, and make all those little shifts and changes, listening to other people, or okay, how can I eat healthier, or because that's unfortunately the way the world is. It's a healthier, but don't look at it from okay, this is a healthy point for me, then that to healthy to me is that shit's going to taste like crap. Don't come at it with that energy. I'm just changing and shifting with the energy of the earth, and Mother and Father Earth love me and I love it. So now we're going to share in this energy, and we're going to get the nutrients that we need from the outdoors, and just keep yourself open to that, into the true foods. And hopefully that all makes sense. It doesn't make too much sense to me, because I'm not at that point. But I get it.
Renee's like, hopefully this will make sense to you, because it doesn't to me.
I'm just getting it now as they're giving it to me, so it'll come in. Maybe a couple of weeks I'll have it.
And I think that I know that there are people in our community, different ones that are definitely drawn. Some people are very sensitive to Gaia's energy already. And any of you who are listening that say, oh my gosh, I just love being in nature, I love being outdoors. Well, that just means that you have more of a connection, but we are all going to integrate in a deeper and deeper way, even more than we can imagine right now. We're going to be so integrated with her energy, and so that it can, and what's coming through. And this is that I do this a lot. Well, it's also a lovely thing for, there's it's like a prayer, but we do it when we're going to take a sip of tequila, but as above, so below, as without, so within. And if you picture that as energetic, you're tying yourself above, tying yourself below, tying yourself without, and tying yourself within. And so it's that energetic connection to Gaia. And there's many meditations that you can find online to help yourself connect more. Grounding, get outside, get your feet in the sand. I go to a local park where I put my feet in the grass, and it's just like, it's never land that's never been developed, which is hard to find in LA. But so that connection is right there. It's like, oh, okay. And that may seem, wait, it can't be that easy. And it really is. Think of it like you're going to the recharging station. Your recharging station is Gaia. She hosts us. She's our host. And so that's why she's ascending. So are we. And like Renee just said, I didn't know that, is that instead of her, because we have enough of our own shit coming up that they figured, let's let them heal their shit and let Gaia go side by side. But when she brings up the new, that we are connected to that, and you can make a conscious effort to deepen that connection. And some days it's not there, you can't force it. Some days it's not there, and that's when I go get myself a little potato.
And I want to expand on that a little bit more, because two things are coming to me. Also, what we put on our skin. I remember I went through a period that I literally washed my face with honey and then put on coconut oil for a moisturizer. And that was pretty much it. Just super basic, back to Mother Nature. So it's also what we put on our skin. We are ingesting that. And also to be mindful, I had someone come to my house and, you know, I have all glass Tupperware and I take old glass bottles and I wash them and refill them for my kids. And for me, I just like to live that way. That's how it's a lot more, it's just a stronger foundation of everything. But remember, everything is energy, and we are coming into a greater state of being in coherence with the Earth's energy. So that all comes into play as well. The plastics, I know it's a big conversation, all the microplastics, but be mindful, because that is a transference of energy and a holder of energy in itself. So if all of a sudden you don't resonate with, you know, your plastic Tupperware, or someone tries to give you to-go silverware and you're like, yeah, no, I don't need that. Trust me, Mother Earth is saying, thank you very much. And your body is too. And I could probably argue the opposite of that as well. We'll just be in a high vibe state. You can do whatever you want because it's alchemized, but this is really respect for the earth and bringing things back down to a more sustainable level, a more, such an appreciation and gratitude for earth. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. So to just, you know, be mindful.
Yeah. I just give gratitude as her. She's our host. She's our host. And I told you my produce department is Gaia's goodies. And I'm like, okay, these are her goodies, and really look at that energetically that way. And so, but you find your own, you know, you find your own language and your own meaning. But I think the main thing here is we're trying to encourage you to have a relationship with Gaia, because she's got one with you, whether you know it or not. So, you know, it's having that alignment and the awareness. Renee, any
Well, yeah, they're saying when you're outside, a lot of people, like when they go outside, they're out there for like fairs or different stuff like that. I'm just seeing like all these like fair type things. So they're saying, if you really start to pay attention to what your body wants and what your body feels, do not tie in going outside with eating foods to places, to things, because they're saying a lot of that is like, you know, fried or whatever, like stuff. And they're saying there's a connection with they want you to connect in to Gaia. That point of like, look, I'm here, I'm going to go take a walk, or I'm going to go to this fair, and I'm not going to even tie it in to their foods. I'm going to tie it into just being out there and getting the nutrients from the earth. Because they're saying we're going to start to recognize as we're walking, with or without your shoes on, because they're saying, you know, is it better with the shoes off right now? Absolutely. But they're saying don't feel like you're not getting things, because the whole energy all around you, that's all Gaia. Okay. So it's all coming in. You are receiving these nutrients from not only the sun, they're saying, because a lot of people have a thing of like, oh my God, the sun's going to cause me cancer. It's going to do this, it's going to do that. So they're saying it's a whole belief system. That's all breaking down right now. So they're saying they are asking to go outside and just feel what's coming in, because they're saying you are going to recognize you're not hungry. You're not, it's like, you know, you're grabbing these like fast food things because you're out in this fair or whatever it is. And they're saying stop and pay attention, because you don't want that. And that, they're saying, is why so many of you are feeling crappy, because you're in this belief system of when I'm outside, or, you know, when I'm experiencing, not that you're recognizing on the conscious level, they're saying, when I'm experiencing Gaia, when I'm experiencing Mother and Father Earth, it makes me feel shitty because I get sunburn and I feel like shit because you're eating shit out there and all that. And I know this is a whole different thing that they're bringing in, but, you know, they're saying it's really important for people to recognize and to feel what feels right. When you're out there, bring your own stuff. Stop and grab an apple or an orange, or, you know, some sort of fruit, or, you know, vegetable, whatever that, you know, you can eat that way, and get rid of the belief system of what you had believed outside was doing for you, because there was a lot of fear in there, and there was a lot of belief systems that were put into place that were not only coming from a fear-based point, but from a control point, and forcing us into an energy field and into a belief system and into an eating system that was not needed, that was not required. And do not get into the fear mode when you recognize, oh my God, I forgot to have breakfast, or I forgot to have lunch. I didn't eat dinner. Shit, I didn't eat anything yesterday. Are you hungry? No, chances are no. Or if you're hungry, then you don't have to make up for anything. We're saying really pay attention. That and sleep, they're both breaking down. Those are
Yeah.
human belief systems, and they're breaking down. So when you wake up at 3 o'clock tomorrow, whatever it is, are you really tired? Or is it your system saying, I'm done, let's go? Because now I've been outside more, I got more energy. Let's get rocking and rolling and stop the bullshit. Okay, that's their 5 cents.
I love it.
That was more than 5 cents. I love it. Awesome. Wow. Well, this one flew by, and I don't know about you guys, but this discussion made me hungry.
Me too. I'm like, wait a minute, but I'm hungry right now.
I'm about to be intuitively guided to the refrigerator. All right. Well, great discussion, ladies. Thank you so much. Thank you again to all our new subscribers, and go ahead and like and share this. And we will